Hey there, educators, and welcome. I'm Dash the Educator, your favorite educator's favorite educator. And more importantly, I am serving as your Chief AI Officer. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest hidden roadblocks in K through 5 mathematics, the equal sign. But we aren't just talking about math, we're talking about time, specifically your time. And I'm going to show you how to use AI to fix this misconception in minutes, not hours, so you can get back to teaching. Let's go. Here's the reality. If you asked your students right now what the equal sign means, what would they say? Most of them think it's a command. They think it means the answer goes here. They see it as an enter button on a calculator, if you will. They don't see it as a fulcrum, a balance point where both sides must be the same. And while that seems like a small detail right now in the second grade, it is a disaster waiting to happen. Why does this matter? Because when students hit that middle school, that same student hits middle school, and they get to that algebra and they see something like 3x plus 4 equals 10, their brain shuts down. If they think the equal sign is just a do it now button, they can't understand variables. They cannot balance equations. This single misconception is often the root cause of math anxiety and algebra failure years down the road. We have to fix the foundation. I know that you know the fix, but here is the cruel equation of teaching: time versus impact. You don't have hours to manually write balanced equations, create nuanced analogies, or or diagnose misconceptions across 30 students. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is not about ability. It's about protecting your peace. You're already grading until 8 o'clock at night. You don't have any more time. This is where we usually get stuck. We know what to do, but we don't have the bandwidth to design it. This is the core of our philosophy. AI isn't cheating, AI is leverage. Let the robot do the heavy lifting. Let the robot write the problems. Let the robot design the analogies. Let the robot design the scaffolds. Your sole focus is on teaching the child. When we shift this mindset, you recover your time and you maximize your impact. So, how do we do it? We don't just ask ChatGPT to make a quiz. That gives you generic garbage. We use a persona prompt. Look at this structure. I tell the AI, act as a master K 12 math specialist. I give it a special, I'm sorry, a very specific, yes, and special goal. Teach that the equal sign means balance, not the answer. And then I demand specific outputs: 3 analogies, 10 balanced equations, and a grocery store scenario. This is the difference between a Google search and a strategic tool. Let's do it right now. Follow along with me. Now, wait a minute. Before I leave, let me get a copy of that prompt. Or what I could do is talk through it. Better still, so you can see how that works as well. Here we go. So now we're at ChatGPT. Let's ask a question or two. Notice my chat GPT is waiting on me. They know me. Now, I could do one of two things. I could talk here in voice mode, but for our presentation, I won't do that, but I might let you say hi to them a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to dictate. Act as a master K-12 math specialist. I need you to teach my students that the equal sign means balance or is the same as, not the answer is. First, create three distinct and memorable analogies I can use in my second grade math class to explain this concept. Next, generate 10 math problems that vary the position of the unknown. For example, 7 equals 3 plus x and x plus 2 equals 5 plus 5. Finally, create one real world scenario involving a grocery store scale to help anchor the learning in a concrete experience. I'm done. I've checked. And now I'm uploading. Let's see what it has to say. Okay, so you see it. Three memorable analogies for the equal sign, the balance beam on a playground. Imagine a seesaw with friends, matching sandwich halves. Think of the equal sign as the line that splits the sandwich. Here are the math problems with the unknown in different positions. And then, last but not least, the real world scenario. Here's the grocery store scale. Imagine you and a student walk up to the produce scale at the grocery store. You place three apples on the left side of the balance scale, and the pointer says stays in the middle. Now you put one apple and a mystery bag, X of grapes on the right side. The scale stays perfectly balanced. You say to the class, look, the scale is telling us that three apples weighs the same as one apple plus X bags of grapes. So we can write that like a math sentence. That what would the mystery bag need to weigh so that both sides stay balanced? So again, talking about real life very quickly, all of your problems right there done just like now. Let's stop. How long would that have taken you to even find, Google, create all of that in seconds? All right. You're still not convinced. You're still not convinced. I see you out there. You're not convinced. All right, let's go. Let's go back. Let's go back. Although I'm giving you what I'm giving you, you're still not convinced. But let's get there. In literally seconds, AI gave you conceptual tools you need, the seesaw, the pan balance, the mirror. You can quickly choose the analogy that best fits your student demographic and save your creative energy for the delivery. The resource is ready to deploy. And I deployed it. So I want you to look closely at these equations. Now, mind you, I did it one time for second grade. I turned around and did it again for fifth grade. So, what you see right here are fifth grade. You'll notice that the questions over there were not the same. These actually have multiplication in it. Why? Because they're now for fifth grade. The prompt, you put it in based on your grade level, based on where you are. And yes, even high school algebra. If you have students struggling, it works. Now, this now becomes a diagnostic and instructional power that saves you hours of writing worksheets. And if that's all it did, it would be worth the price of your time here today. But ah, there's more. I feel like an 80s commercial. But wait, there's more, right? Look at what we're going to do with this student work. Over to the right, you see a couple of questions. There are two prompts. You get the prompt first, that is a reflective question, so that after students answer the worksheet, you can take a picture and then ask ChatGPT to give them 3 questions, not you, but give the students 3 questions based on the misconceptions that ChatGPT is seeing. Give the students 3 reflective questions to force them to think before they come to you. What did you just say? Yes. Let's do that first. Let's go over here. Let's go back to ChatGPT where we've just finished creating. I am going to upload a file. So I'm going to add a file. Let me make sure I'm getting the right thing here. I'm going to do sample, student sample. We're going to add that student sample, and hopefully that's the student work sample. Let me just check and make sure the way my life is set up. Yeah, there's a student work sample. So it is now in ChatGPT, and I am now going to dictate again. You are a professional pedagogical coach and AI assistant for K 12 educators. Analyze the student's incorrect answer against the correct answer rubric. Generate exactly 3 short, specific questions that prompt the student to reflect on where their logic or calculations deviated from the correct method. The questions must guide them to discover their own error. Format the output as a numbered list of questions only. So we're not looking for the answer. We are looking for answers to ask the questions to ask the students. Let's see how chat does. It's reading the documents that I've uploaded. Here are 3 targeted reflection. When you wrote a number for each question, did you check whether both sides of the equation had the same value, or did you only solve the side with a variable? For problems like 12 equals 4 plus b, how can you use subtraction to check what number makes the 2 sides balance? And then 3, in equations such as 25 equals 2d plus 1, how can you test your answer by plugging it back in to see both sides match? Again, ChatGPT does not give the answer. It's giving the students questions so that they self reflect. That's what we want from our students. Now, again. But wait, there's more. So, what if the student's still struggling? Now, you as a teacher, we got to set up that tier 2 intervention before we have to send them to somebody else. And then we need to have clear documentation of what we've done. Let's do that part. This is the core deficit analysis. You are a certified math interventionist and skilled coach. Analyze the attached image of the student's completed diagnostic worksheet. Your task is to act as a data analyst based on the errors. Identify the single most foundational mathematic concept the student is struggling with, i.e., regrouping, etc. You know how to say that. Provide a concise 1 sentence description of the deficit. Then list 3 simple corrective practice problems that exclusively target that identified deficit, as well as provide any teaching tips. I just kind of threw that last piece in just to let you know you can be flexible. I meant to say that last piece to you, but ChatGPT did it. So I just threw that last piece. You see, it's listening to everything you say. All right. So, boom. That teaching tips, you don't need them if you don't want to. But this is when we start talking about tier 2 intervention and being very specific about what you're doing with students. I mean, just think about the applications. After you put all of this stuff in, you can start thinking about how to group students. Utilize this DAS. So, core deficit, the student shows a foundational misunderstanding, equal sign as a relationship of balance, leading to inconsistent use of inverse operation when solving for the unknown. Here are the 3 corrective practice problems. And then here's a teaching tip: use a balance scale model, draw or physically, or have students prove each step. Again, I want you to see in just what, I don't know, a couple of minutes, we've gone from creating this diagnostic tool, providing reflective questions based on how students performed, and then we've now created our tier 2 and or tier 3 uh focus, just those 3 questions with a few teacher tips on how you can help students really conceptualize what is happening. Like, come on now. Come on now. I feel, like, come on, Chat GPT, you deserve an applause. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Not just because you're great at what you do, but because you're going to be able to save my people time. Let's go. So, all that, and to make those concepts stick, we grounded them in real world. The grocery store scenario, this tactile connection proves that the weight on the left must equal the weight on the right. This real world anchor significantly improves conceptual transfer and retention. Now, this entire system is built on a holistic view of teacher wellness. We solve the math problem to solve the burnout problem. Y'all are operating off of fumes. I need us to protect our mind. We work smarter using AI. Our body, we drastically reduce grading to restore your energy and soul. We reclaim the peace and joy that originally brought us to this profession. So, when do we pull this out? Use this toolkit as your rapid response system. If students think equal sign equals answer comes next, or if they struggle with variables, you know exactly which four prompt system to deploy. This checklist links directly to the diagnostic criteria in the PDF that I hadn't told you about yet. But we get there. I've distilled this entire process into this simple proprietary 5-step system. You teach it with the AI analogies, check understanding with the generated problems, and if they struggle, you upload work to the AI to identify the core deficit. This flow guarantees efficient reteaching and maximum time saving. Now, mind you, on this 5-step system, it says step 5, go home. Why? Because you've saved time leveraging the use of AI. And you could use that time to reclaim your evenings however you'd like. To summarize the value, this toolkit doesn't just give you a better lesson, it teaches the true meaning of equal. It gives you many lessons in diagnostics and it saves you hours of planning. The key to deep student thinking and a restored work life balance. You don't need to manually copy any of these prompts. I've packaged this entire system, all four prompts, the flow chart, and the checklist into a single free, yes, you heard me, free PDF. Go download the 4 prompt equal sign toolkit right now. The link is right below this message. Start reclaiming your time and becoming the chief AI officer your students need. Follow me at Dash the Educator for more tools that save you hours every week. Stay empowered, and I'll see you on Wednesday where we talk more about that body because it's time for Work It Wednesday. Make sure you bring your dancing shoes. All right, y'all. Until the next time, be great. Reclaim your peace.